we are ready to start our last recipe, which is our coconut collard greens. And I saved the coconut collard greens for last because basically it's not going to take that long to do. Once you prepare them, you're basically ready to go ahead and serve them. So that is why I'm making that my very last preparation for today. Now, as a part of my cooking from the pantry, what I normally do is when I do my shopping on Saturdays, I come in, I wash all of my vegetables, chop them up, place them into Ziploc bags, label them with the date and what I have in the bag, and then all during the week when I'm ready to have fresh vegetables, I just go to my fridge, pick out a bag, and cook them. So I have here about 2 bundles of collard greens already cut up in 1/2-inch strips. In another video I will show you how I actually remove the stems from my collard greens and then slice them for this particular recipe or whenever I'm fixing collard greens. I like to slice them in 1/2-inch slices so that they can evenly cook. And I don't like to overcook my collard greens because the whole purpose of us getting these dark green vegetables is to have all of the nutrients. Back in the day when our parents would fix collard greens, the first thing they would have would be a pot of ham hocks or salt pork or some type of fat meat boiling for an hour or so, and when it's finished boiling, my mom used to call it pot liquor. Then she would take and cut up her greens or tear them basically and put them in the pot liquor and then cook the greens for another 45 minutes or an hour until they are olive green. Well, because I have learned the nutritional value of eating our dark green vegetables and to eat them so that we don't, or cook them so that we don't cook out all of the nutrients, I like this recipe that I'm going to be preparing for you today. The first thing that we're going to do is I have a pot on the stove, but it's not full of ham hocks and neck bones to cook these collard greens. I actually have a boiling water with a little salt. And what I'm going to do is I am going to blanch these collard greens for about 2 minutes. After I blanch them, I'm going to drain them, and then I am going to use my skillet and add 2 tablespoons of olive oil, some chopped onions and garlic, and I'm going to saute them in the onions and garlic, then add my coconut milk. Now I am using an organic coconut milk that I've purchased from one of the local healthy food markets. You can find coconut milk in mostly every grocery store, but if you would like to have something on the organic level, you can go to your local health food store to find organic coconut milk. I'm going to be using 3/4 cup of the coconut milk, and of course I have it in my Pampered Chef measuring cup. I am going to be using this new gadget that I'm introducing to you today. It's a garlic press. It's something different than I've had previously with garlic press. It is an oval shape, and it comes with a little brush. Now this little brush, you know how when you crush your garlic, then you have to kind of pull the skin off and you use a sharp knife or whatever. Well, this little brush is going to help remove whatever residue or skin from the garlic once you're finished using the press. So this is something new, and I am totally looking forward to using and getting plenty of use out of this garlic press from the Pampered Chef. Now, all of the items today that you've seen me work with, you can go to my Pampered Chef website and browse around, and you will find these items. And I will continue to do several cooking demonstrations using the Pampered Chef items. I'm so excited to be a part of the Pampered Chef. Okay, so my water is boiling. I'm going to take my greens over and put them in my salt boiling water, and I will be back with you in just a moment. Okay, I have finished blanching my collard greens, and you can see that they're a nice, bright, vibrant green. I've drained the water off of them. By cutting them into 1/2 inch strips, it allows the greens to cook evenly without overcooking them. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use our manual food processor again, and I'm going to chop some onions. I'm using a white onion, about 1/2 of a white onion. I might not need all of it for the amount of greens that I have here, but I'm going to go ahead. I'm using Pampered Chef knife today, very nice. I'm going to now just cut these up in chunks so that I can put them into the food processor. I love the Pampered Chef. The products are quality products, and no well-stocked kitchen should be without them. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put the top on, release the lever, and what I want is my onions to be diced. And that is basically the perfect consistency that I need for my onions. So I'll take that out and place that aside. Very nice blade. Again, I really love this manual processor because I can take it over to the stove with me without any cords, and it does the job. Okay, so now I am going to use my garlic press, and I'm just going to go ahead and press my garlic into where my onions are because I have my olive oil heating on the stove in the skillet. So this is what I was talking about. Once you press the garlic, then you end up with, and I don't know if you can see that. Let me just bring this up closer to you so that you can see that. The skin of the garlic ends up sticking to the press. So with the handy little brush we have, you can remove that and then go ahead and press your next clove of garlic. Okay. Also, I just want you to know that I am taping myself today. My assistant is wrapped up in football right now, and so she says, you chose to do this on a Sunday, so you have to do it without me. But I'm quite sure that when dinner is ready, she will be out here with bells on. Okay, so then we take our little trusty little brush here, and then just brush out the skin from the garlic. I'm using 4 cloves of garlic, by the way. This time I'm going to do with 2 runaway garlic. Okay, let's put this in here again, and there we go. Crush. And then take the trusty little brush here and brush out the skin. And add another clove of garlic. Let's see if we can get 2 in there this time. Quite sure we can, yes. And we're going to press. There we go. Look at that. Great. Now, I just want you to know that the coconut collards are just a wonderful recipe, and it is not going to be full of fat, because the only fat that we're actually using is the olive oil that we're sauteing them in. The coconut milk is going to give it wonderful flavor. Along with the coconut milk today, I'm going to be using some nutmeg, about a half a teaspoon of that. And then of course we're going to salt and pepper this to taste. So let me grab my spatula. And I am going to go over to the stove and start sauteing the onions. So that's the first thing that you need to do, is that you need to heat your 2 tablespoons of olive oil and then add your onions and garlic. Okay, once you saute the onions and garlic, you add your greens and you incorporate the onions and garlic with your greens, and then you add your coconut milk and then your nutmeg. And again, you can taste at this point to season to taste with a little salt and pepper. But doesn't that look delicious? That's my coconut collards. Okay.